Greetings, everybody, and I hope today is going to be a blessed day for you, regardless of the topic. And the topic that we're going to mention and talk about never has been discussed on my show. And I'm going further than that. I'm finding the people who are bold, unapologetic, and who are pissed off and some kind of a subject that is going on in this country, that is going on in our world, and are actually doing something about it. And that's why I have this special guest on my show. His name is Shane Coyle, and he's a voice actor, and he's also child predator hunter. Welcome, Shane. How are you?
Ilona, thank you very much. It's an honor to be a guest on your show. I absolutely adore your show. Absolutely love it.
When I first heard you, I haven't seen you, but I've heard you. What came out of what your message was your passion and how much you were pissed off and the society and what is going on now. We have zero tolerance towards wearing masks or being in the public, 6 feet, from each other, not zero tolerance from the texting and driving. But however, our society tolerates exactly this, that what are you doing and facing and actually doing something about it. Yes, I raised my voice. Yes, because I'm pissed off. Yes, because I'm a mother of the children, that this subject, they may hear about it, they may some kind of, may interact, but I want you, we need more like you, Shane, to handle that and raise their voices, because I'm going to stop and I'm going to give this time to you. I want you to tell us exactly what I've heard, why you're here on my show, what you do, how you do it, how you catch those idiots, and how you handle that.
Absolutely, Ilona. Thank you very much for asking. My name is Shane Coyle. My daughter was 12 years old when she was preyed on by a child predator. I was fortunate enough to intercept the call. Therefore, the predator never actually got his hands on my daughter. But if I wasn't lucky enough to intercept the call the way that I did, and if I wasn't given a God-given ability to change my voice to sound like a little girl, I wouldn't have been able to act like my little girl on that phone and set up this meeting with the child predator the way I did. I'll tell you how that story went. It was one night about 12:30 at night that my daughter's cell phone was ringing off the hook. She's sound asleep. I look at the cell phone and I notice it's just 2 adult-like questions. What's your bra size? What is your astrological sign? What 12-year-old's asking another 12-year-old their astrological sign? Do you live with your parents? Would you ever sneak out? And the top was a 13-year-old boy's profile picture, but they were just 2 adult-like. Now, if I pick up the phone and answer it as myself, a pissed off father, he's going to hang up. So I've been given a God-given ability to change my voice. I'm a voice actor. So I decided that night to answer the phone, and this is how the call went.
La 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 la. Hello. Hey, what's up? How are you? It's Jennifer Adelia. How old are you? Oh, okay, cool. So you don't care how old I am? All right, see you there.
Now, this guy thought he was talking to a little girl. This allowed me to set up a meeting with this child predator. I was praying to God when I answered the phone, hello, that I would hear a 13-year-old little boy, but instead I heard a 53-year-old man. It was disgusting. Needless to say, I set up a meeting with this man. He thought he was meeting my little girl. He's now serving 19 years in prison as a sexual offender for his second offense on children. I decided if this is happening to my own little girl in my house, and it can happen to my own little boy or my little girl, what'll happen if I place ads on social media saying that I'm a 14-year-old female home alone? So that's what I did. I went on a crusade. I placed ads on social media apps like Let Go, Meet Me, Instagram, just different ads saying I'm a 15, 14-year-old female home alone. The response was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Hundreds upon hundreds of child predators, one after another, messaging me, calling me. I went on a crusade, answering the phone one after another.
Hello. Hey, what's up? How are you? Okay, cool. Where do you want to meet?
And I'd meet them one after another. I busted over 600 child predators. I've taken part in so many different busts, and it's going on a daily basis. People, we live in a day and age in society where in the United States of America, they have what's called sexual offender probation. We need, like Ilona said, we need to have zero tolerance, zero tolerance. Sexual offender probation basically means if your child gets molested, that assailant gets to get out of jail. And if they do it again, then they might go to jail. We need to have zero tolerance, 100% with these laws in the United States. Ilona, it's nuts. It really is. All that in one breath.
You know, Shane, to be honest with you, this is a very, deep subject, and a subject that honestly pisses me off, because with the social media, that's, how tremendously it's growing, that is like a bacteria, like a disease. It spreads so fast in a matter, like you said. You put it like, you put your ad that you're by yourself at home, and you got the response instantly. That's what's going on right now. And I commend you for actually doing something about it without having any background, without having any kind of support right now. I know you do. So I wanted to tell us, to tell the country, tell these people, tell the world, what do we need to know? How we need to protect our kids?
You know what? The biggest question in the world is, what do we need to know and how do we protect our kids? The only way is to be diligent with your kids' devices. Yes, you want to give your children privacy, but what's more important, safety or privacy? You have to let the safety override the privacy with your children. No matter what, you want to see their phone. You want to see who they're talking to. You want to see the applications that they're using. Now, parents, I'm going to tell you something. The best way to learn one of your child's applications is to start talking to your friends using that application. If you want to learn Snapchat so you could go through your child's Snapchat, start talking to your friends using Snapchat. The best way is get your hands-on experience. Other than that, there's so many different safety features that are not on these phones that are making our children so susceptible to child predatorial nature that it's absolutely astounding and it's disgusting. Something like Snapchat, for example, if your child's location factor is on their phone, there's something called a snap map, which actually pinpoints the latitude and longitude of your child's location to anybody wanting to know it. And that's something just like Snapchat. They have it on all the applications. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's crazy because the only way to keep your kids safe is to, number one, let them see the reality. Let them see videos like Ilona's video right now explaining the fact that child predators are real. They are out there. They're, in fact, in every single nook and cranny and shadow of online social media. Let them know that. Let your children see the different educational videos out there. Don't shelter them from the truth. When you shelter your kids and say, oh, no, it just as long as I can see, my children don't need to see things like that. No, your children need to see the reality of the world. I know my children at 16 and 8 years old, they know the reality of child predatorial nature, and my children are experts at it. But you know what? There's never, ever a dull moment in my mind that I think that there's not some smarter child predator out there that's preying on the likeness of my kid. You have to stay one step ahead of them at all times, and it's damn near impossible. It really is. It's scary.
Oh, thank you so much for this advice. We're going to probably put all of this information below in the description so people will be able to go into it and learn how to use those apps that are so necessary for us. But I'm going to ask you this question. I don't know if you have ever had it before. I want you to take a 1 minute and to talk to the predators right now. What would you want to tell them?
You're preying on children. You're preying on minded little individuals, little minds that are so innocent. Stop. But it's not going to stop. And you're not going to stop. So we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop as parents. We're going to come and we're going to go after each and every single one of you individually with the right law enforcement backing us, with our children backing us, with the knowledge that we're going to give them. We're going to take and rip every single hiding place that you have, and we're going to shine light on it. Because you know what? There is no darkness in light. And I'm telling you, the light will overpower. Sorry, I get emotional when it comes to talking to about these scum. I spent 4 years behind bars, okay? I had possession charges in my earlier days, and I spent 4 years behind bars, housed with child molesters of all different walks of life. You wouldn't imagine what they look like. You think that you could pinpoint a child molester. You can't. Excuse the dogs in the background. I'm sorry. Come here, guys. You can't pin what one looks like. I spent 4 years behind bars with child predators that 70, 80 years old look like the sweetest old man, and they're the most horrific killing machine that's killed over 30 children. I mean, it's disgusting. They hide. They're weak-minded individuals, and strong-minded individuals such as yourself, Ilona, and myself. We have to come together and form teams to get rid of these scum. We have to, because other than that, they're going to keep preying on the likeness of our children, and pretty soon it becomes our children.
You're absolutely so right. It's not anymore like it's them. It affects us. It affects like it's like a disease right now. So we have to stop, because I know that they need a system too. I know that they also need a cure. I know there's something psychological that's going on in their lives that also needs to be addressed. But I don't know how much the society is doing, how much government is doing, how much the agencies are doing to, address that. So we will lock that and we will address the issue that they're going through, so they will not hurt somebody else, because they were hurt in one way or another in their lives too, because it's a bacteria. You cannot just lock the bacteria. We have to treat the bacteria in the right way as well too. But I wanted to take this moment, Shane, and speak to the parents whose kids have been affected through this such a tragic event. What would you want to tell them right now?
Wow, you know how to tug on my heartstrings. Parents, those of you that have had your child affected by a sexual abuser, there is nothing audible that I can say to you that will ever take the pain away that has been instilled in your heart. And there's nothing that I can say to you that will ever give the innocence back to your children or back to yourself as a survivor. If you're a survivor of sexual abuse, the same goes for you. There's nothing I could do to give back your innocence, but we can expose these bastards. We can expose them. We can expose them for the scum that they are. We can expose them to the authorities, and we can do our part as educators to our children and to each other to teach the nature of these disgusting beings. Those of you that have been affected by sexual abuse, the innocence has been stolen, but we'd like to return the innocence in form of exposure for closure. We expose these bastards for closure for you. That's what I offer to you.
Shane, I know it's not easy, and I just cannot imagine the parents going through this horrible event, because when you are struggling, it's one thing, but when your child is struggling, it's just like your world is crushing and crumbling. So it's just the world is completely different for them right now. So we're just praying right now for all of the families who have been affected, for all these innocent children who have been also part of right now. And it's going to be there. We cannot remove the past from them. However, we want to provide the future. Please remember, the past does not define you. You can still achieve. You can still dream. Life is not over. All right, you are a special child of God, and God loves you so much. Why He allowed that to do it, we don't know, but He is giving you strength, and we are there to help you. We are here to support one another as a community. So let's come up together, and if we have some family that we know, let's provide some kind of guidance to them and also provide the support. So I'm going to put all of the information, how to contact us, how to relate to us, and how to also you can contact Shane down below description. Please do not let this subject or this matter to go past you. So share with somebody that you know who has been affected, so they will provide the right, get the right tools and right information that they need to know. Please know there's somebody out there that is doing something about this, and Shane is not alone. So please stay tuned, because next episode we're going to be sharing and talking more about that. Shane, we want to say thank you to everything you do, for being so brave, so courageous, so bold, so unapologetic, so pissed off that you're doing what you're doing with so much results. Give us the last remarks.
Thank you so much, Ilona. It's people like you that spread awareness, that keep kids safe. It's the awareness factor, parents. Listen, if you didn't have a TV set, you wouldn't know that there was a predator lurking in the streets, and you wouldn't know that there was a helicopter looking for somebody. Show your kids the news. Teach your kids the dangers. Don't shelter them from the news and the realities of the world, because if you shelter your kid from the world too much, your kid will get lost in the world. It's the God's honest truth.
That is so true. So thank you guys for being with us. That was Ilona from IP Resilience, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Let's do something together, and let's make this world a better place to live. See you next time.